ਵੈਲਕਮ ਟੂ ਦਿਸ ਐਪੀਸੋਡ ਆਫ ਦ ਹਰਪ੍ਰੀਤ ਸਿੰਘ ਸ਼ੋ। ਅੱਜ ਦੇ ਇਸ ਹੈਲਥ ਸੈਗਮੈਂਟ ਵਿੱਚ ਮੇਰਾ ਸਾਥ ਦੇਣਗੇ ਰਿਚਰਡ ਲੀਵਰਡ, ਜਿਹੜੇ ਕਿ ਇੱਕ ਹੈਲਥ ਫਿਟਨੈਸ ਕੋਚ ਨੇ ਤੇ ਨਾਲ ਬਾਇਓ ਐਨਰਜੀ ਦੇ ਐਕਸਪਰਟ ਨੇ। ਅੱਜ ਅਸੀਂ ਨਾਲ ਗੱਲਬਾਤ ਕਰਕੇ ਜਾਣਕਾਰੀ ਲਵਾਂਗੇ ਕਿ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਅਸੀਂ ਖਾਣਾ ਖਾ ਰਹੇ ਹਾਂ ਉਹਦਾ ਸਾਡੇ ਤੇ ਕੀ ਇੰਪੈਕਟ ਪੈ ਰਿਹਾ, ਹਾਊ ਦ ਫੂਡ ਵਾਟ ਵੀ ਆਰ ਕੰਜ਼ਿਊਮਿੰਗ ਟੂਡੇ ਇਜ਼ ਇੰਪੈਕਟਿੰਗ ਅਸ। ਇਸ ਦੇ ਉੱਤੇ ਅਸੀਂ ਫੋਕਸ ਕਰਕੇ ਗੱਲਬਾਤ ਕਰਾਂਗੇ। ਤਾਂ ਸਵਾਗਤ ਕਰਦੇ ਹਾਂ ਰਿਚਰਡ ਲੀਵਰਡ ਦਾ। ਰਿਚਰਡ, ਵੈਲਕਮ ਟੂ ਦ ਪ੍ਰੋਗਰਾਮ। Thank you. So today, take us on this journey of the food what we are consuming, because food is essential for our survival.
Absolutely.
But of late what we are finding is that there's a lot of talk going on about the food what we are consuming, rather than helping us, is kind of impacting our lives in a negative way. What is your observation about it?
Well, so why food? We all need food. Food is our fuel and it nourishes us.
Right.
And right from the stage that you were formed, your body does what? Heal, repair, rejuvenate. 100,000 processes per second per cell, somewhere between 50 and 100 trillion cells. So this activity in our body needs to be properly supported.
Right.
And so by it, it's just like, if consider that when there's energy going, it's like a fire going, you got to put fuel into the fire, right? As well as oxygen and so on. So it's understanding what these bodies are made of, right? And now it gets down to choices, because we don't eat simple foods anymore. We eat mostly processed foods. And
right.
in the processes, these foods become denatured. But also the type of farming that has been taking place, it's all commercial farming, you know, whether it's vegetables and fruits, but it gets down into, for those who are not vegetarians, with the animals, it's all factory farming. And in that, it's all about the almighty dollar. So, you know, and it's for gains. And then they leave the real requirement for the nutrients that should be in existence that to support a healthy body. So now the challenge becomes, because advertising and marketing is very, very powerful. So you put it in glitzy packages and people go more for the packaging. I mean, a lot of that is targeted towards kids.
Right.
You see the kids, when they go with the moms into the supermarkets or so on, I want this, I want that. So they know by getting the children to ask and demand from the parents will kind of give in. But if you look at the denaturing of the food, so I always say, like, being involved in bioenergy or life force and being able to measure things. Our bodies have life force, and as we age, as we slow down, definitely life force diminishes too.
Right.
The key is, okay, how long do you really want to keep yourself in good condition? For me, this has been 45 years of, you know, basically I see it as a challenge to know how to do better for me so that I can tell other people.
Right.
So when you eat fresh foods, if it comes, let's say, straight out the garden or off the tree, it's got way more life force on it than something that's been stored and so on. Again, it diminishes. And then if we take it, so we take fresh stuff and now we're processing it, we're canning it or drying it and we're packaging it, more of the life force. So predominantly, look at eating as much as you can get fresh. The problem, again, because of how it's perhaps being farmed, we got things like, by depletion of minerals,
Right.
the plant become weaker. And as the plants become weaker, then you got an infestation of insects or growth like that, okay, which are controlled by pesticides, herbicides, and fungicides, and so on. And anything with the word "ides" is cancer causing.
Right.
Okay, so when we get this, a lot of the food here, it's already contaminated with things. Okay, and our bodies are like sponges. You know, we keep on putting this stuff that perhaps contaminated, perhaps even GMO modified. I mean, there's so many factors now. And when our bodies become like sponges, a lot of these toxins accumulate. Okay, so if with our modern knowledge, technology, and everything else, we have improved it. If you look at the rate of cancer today, you know, 50, 60 years ago, you wouldn't hear children. Very seldom.
Absolutely.
Cancer was associated with old age. Okay, but you know, Canada has announced that 1 in 2 will be affected by cancer.
Right.
Okay? So our bodies, the best way to overcome with any kind of diseases is a strong immune system. Okay? But again, if that diminishes, then because our bodies deal on a daily basis with cancer, 5 to 10,000 cancer cells. But if our immune system is strong enough, boom, it just suppresses it, and it's not an issue.
Right.
Okay, it's just then when we become weaker. So if food is to nourish us, the more complete the food is in the things that it requires,
Right.
okay, the better our bodies will perform. So it's always kind of like, good hydration, but make food your medicine, okay?
Right.
Hippocrates, the father of medicine, said, let food be your medicine and medicine be your food. So it's always food first.
Right.
And so consider some of the things, and besides herbicides, pesticides, fungicides that are in food, okay? Again, storage and so on depleted. You can take bananas, and wherever they store bananas, they actually gasify the bananas, okay? And that's to preserve them from going brown.
Right.
Again, storage,
Right.
capacity, okay? So, again, we're just ingesting a lot of things. Then if we're eating a lot of processed stuff, watch the labels. Probably the number one enemy that is consumed by most people is sugar,
Right.
and more refined sugar. They've recently equated sugar as being 8 times more addictive than cocaine. So we're aware of drug addiction, but when you now consider
Right.
the state of health today, the majority, we have so many food addicts. Okay? We don't put any emphasis, like I say,
Absolutely.
just sugar, and everything, right?
Right.
And of course, then sugar and insulin. Look
Right.
at the levels of diabetes forever increasing, and even in newborns in young children now, right?
So Richard, it's a vicious circle what you're talking about. Ultimately, we have to have food.
Yes.
And we cannot change the circumstances, the way, the kind of lifestyle we have adopted, the kind of, countries where we are living in. Like you very rightly mentioned, the food, what we are having on our tables, probably we don't know when the fruit was plucked from the tree and how much time did it take from Mexico or from states to reach our table. So let's go for a short break and we'll be back and learn more from you. ਰਿਮੀਡੀਓਜ਼ ਐਂਡ ਕੰਪਨੀ ਦੇ 18 ਵਕੀਲ ਆਪਣੇ ਕਿੱਤੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਮਹਾਰਤ ਰੱਖਦੇ ਹਨ ਅਤੇ ਐਂਥਨੀ ਰਿਮੀਡੀਓਜ਼ ਦੇ 30 ਸਾਲ ਦੇ ਤਜਰਬੇ ਹੇਠ ਕੰਮ ਕਰਦੇ ਇਹ ਵਕੀਲ ਕਾਰਪੋਰੇਟ ਬਿਜ਼ਨਸ ਫੈਮਿਲੀ ਲਾਅ ਵਿਲਸ ਐਸਟੇਟ ਰੀਅਲ ਐਸਟੇਟ ਬਿਜ਼ਨਸ ਮਰਜਰਸ ਅਤੇ ਐਕੁਜ਼ੀਸ਼ਨਸ ਬਾਰੇ ਸਹੀ ਸਲਾਹ ਦਿੰਦੇ ਹਨ ਵੈਂਕੂਵਰ ਡਾਊਨਟਾਊਨ ਵਿੱਚ ਕਾਮਯਾਬੀ ਤੋਂ ਬਾਅਦ ਹੁਣ ਸਰੀ ਬਰਨਬੀ ਤੇ ਰਿਚਮੰਡ ਵਿੱਚ ਵੀ ਇਹ ਸੇਵਾਵਾਂ ਦੇ ਰਹੇ ਹਨ ਇਹਨਾਂ ਦੇ ਦਫ਼ਤਰ ਚੰਡੀਗੜ੍ਹ ਮਨੀਲਾ ਤੇ ਸ਼ੰਘਾਈ ਵਿੱਚ ਵੀ ਹਨ ਛੋਟਾ ਹੋਵੇ ਜਾਂ ਵੱਡਾ ਕੇਸ ਯਾਦ ਰੱਖੋ ਰਿਮੀਡੀਓਜ਼ ਐਂਡ ਕੰਪਨੀ ਫੀਸ ਬਹੁਤ ਵਾਜਬ ਲੈਂਦੇ ਹਨ 6046491555 ਸਵਾਗਤ ਕਰਦੇ ਹਾਂ ਜੀ ਇੱਕ ਵਾਰ ਫਿਰ ਆਪ ਸਭ ਦਾ ਅੱਜ ਦੇ ਸੈਗਮੈਂਟ ਵਿੱਚ ਰਿਚਰਡ ਲੀਵਲ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਕਿ ਇੱਕ ਐਕਸਪਰਟ ਨੇ ਖਾਣ ਪੀਣ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਤੇ ਨਾਲ ਬਾਇਓ ਐਨਰਜੀ ਐਕਸਪਰਟ ਨੇ ਇਹਨਾਂ ਦਾ ਕਹਿਣਾ ਹੈ ਕਿ ਖਾਣ ਜਿਸ ਤਰ੍ਹਾਂ ਸਾਡੇ ਸਰੀਰ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਪ੍ਰਾਣ ਹੈਗੇ ਨੇ ਲਾਈਫ ਐਨਰਜੀ ਹੈਗੀ ਹੈ ਇਸੇ ਤਰੀਕੇ ਨਾਲ ਖਾਣ ਪੀਣ ਵਿੱਚ ਵੀ ਉਹ ਲਾਈਫ ਐਨਰਜੀ ਹੁੰਦੀ ਹੈ ਉਸ ਨੂੰ ਅਸੀਂ ਖਤਮ ਕਰ ਦਿੰਦੇ ਹਾਂ ਜਦੋਂ ਕਿ ਅਸੀਂ ਸਹੀ ਤਰੀਕੇ ਨਾਲ ਉਸ ਦੀ ਵਰਤੋਂ ਨਹੀਂ ਕਰਦੇ ਆਪਣੇ ਇਮਿਊਨ ਸਿਸਟਮ ਨੂੰ ਕਿਵੇਂ ਅਸੀਂ ਸਟਰੋਂਗ ਬਣਾਈਏ ਔਰ ਇਸ ਬਾਰੇ ਕੁਝ ਜਾਣਕਾਰੀ ਲੈਣੇ ਸੋ ਰਿਚਰਡ ਐਜ਼ ਯੂ ਵਰ ਟੈਲਿੰਗ ਬਿਫੋਰ ਦ ਬ੍ਰੇਕ that we have to make our immune system stronger. So tell us, take us on this journey as to what all can be done to make our immune system stronger.
Okay, well, be aware of the things you consume, the things you drink,
Right.
because toxins can take your immune system down. Okay, sugar really lowers it. 1 teaspoon of sugar will lower your immune system for the next 8 hours.
Wow.
Okay, so when all the flu stuff is going around, and then if people are indulging in all these sugary drinks, okay, that lowers their immune system, and
Right.
so much of that is there. So be aware that drinking a bunch of juice or pops or energy drinks even is really a false concept, okay, because of the sugar content. So again, beware of sugar, period. Okay. There are, of course, other toxins that so somewhere along the line, one of the best things a person can do is just to make sure consume enough water, because water is a cleanser, a coolant, a lubricant.
Right.
But if you don't get enough water coming in your body, its ability to flush things out of your body goes down.
Right.
Okay. And I mean, we've got various ways by which we detoxify. So incorporating it somehow into your regular lifestyle, and it doesn't have to be something very, very difficult. Okay, the simple step, but just, for example, drinking of water, eat a lot of fruits with fiber, and you can do on some simple programs, which we won't detail today.
Okay.
But yeah, so toxins and you know, eating things that are, you know, contaminated, basically, just besides just toxins, food that have, you know, gone down, because what happens is that, you know, people develop things like funguses on their bodies and all that. Okay, so detoxify, eat as close as you can to what nature provides, you know, and a healthy attitude. And I think your body can start telling you, you know, a lot more by yourself. There are certain supplements that one can also utilize on a, you know, basically on a maintenance basis. Make your food first and then take the supplements. But there's also a beware on supplements. And this is where the work that I can do with the testing. So anybody that's locally, but I can also do long distance stuff. People can send me information. I can do testing. Don't matter where you are on the globe. Okay, and we can get into the details if they want to know. But what's the life force? Because I would say this, good half of the supplements out there are dead. Okay, they're not made of real stuff that is bioavailable to us. And there definitely is a real need to supplement, but beware of the word supplement. Supplement does not mean replacement. And so sometimes people say, well, I'll eat all the junk and then I can just use my vitamins, my supplements to make up. That won't work. And if it does, you're lucky.
So basically you have to be aware of what supplements you are using, consuming. They're not synthetic, they have to be good. So that,
basically they have to be bioavailable.
So
I'll give you a couple of examples. Vitamin D is a very popular one that a lot of people go for because they hear how it's good. And it is, okay? We live in the Vancouver area and we lack sunshine. And sunshine is one of the major sources of vitamin D. And if we don't get enough sunshine, it causes all kinds of effects, okay, that is detrimental to our health. Some of the vitamin D products are made from ground feathers, okay? So ground feathers might have a lot of vitamin D in it, but is it bioavailable? Will your body assimilate so that it can actually use it? And I can measure it in that life force. If it's dead, it's just going to be something that's going to pass through your body but will not do anything for you. So any components that you put in, on, near your body can be measured, how it impacts your overall health through an energy measurement, right? So life gives life, death gives death. So whatever you're consuming, just make sure that there's life force to it. And that you start boosting. If it has no life force, that means your body requires energy to consume it and deal with it and get it out of the system, right? So if you're using more energy in the things you're consuming, you got no energy field, right? So the life force is very low. So how can you heal, repair, rejuvenate? Okay, so it lowers your immune system. Everything goes down.
So basically, what you're saying is that life energy, what you have, the prana, that can be increased. And now there are different tools by which we can measure also. And being a bioenergy expert, you have that expertise by which you can measure the life force in everything, whether it is the food or the body, or even any products what we are using.
Anything we put in, on, near our bodies, whether it's cell phones, how it impacts us, jewelry. Even if ladies wear a scarf, how they put that scarf around them, because that's the geometry. It creates shapes around. So we can certainly, I can help people design for optimal living, from how their bodies are, what they put in their bodies, if they want to, what they put on their bodies, so clothing, jewelry, footwear, any kind of hats, whatever else you might be using, because this is going to interact with your life force, okay? And so the better, the bigger, the more balance. Everything is about balance. And so the bigger your life force is out there, it's kind of like creating a shield, okay? Because there's tremendous amount of stuff coming to us all the time. And the smaller the life force, boom, at some point, there's no life force left, and the person is basically expired, dead. You know, the prana is gone.
Okay. So if somebody wants to contact you, where they can call you?
My phone number, my website, my phone number is 778-552-5600. 5636,
Okay.
or go to bioenergywellnesscare.com.
Great. It was a pleasure talking to you. Thank you for this information.
very much.
Thank you.